Let's talk now to Justin Urquhart Stewart, though, economist, proper economist, because the UK economy has shrunk for a second month in a row, contracting by 0.1% in May after a 0.3% contraction in April. We know that this is really all very small movements, but they're all small movements in the wrong direction. If they were going in the other direction, Justin, I'm sure we'd be hearing from Rachel Reeves about how great it's all going. This is all pretty bad news, isn't it?
Well, it looks as though we're heading for a recession. Now, as you say, the moves are very small, so you could actually say it's a small recession, but it's not growth, it's a recession. What's happening? Well, we've had car manufacturing being upset, just in case you hadn't noticed. Of course, our high-value cars are suffering the thought of higher penalties actually being exported to America. Now, we don't know the full agreements on that yet. I mean, it looks as though we won't actually suffer the worst of it. What it's done, though, it's knocked the confidence out of the industry. So what you've had is an upset in manufacturing. You've had an upset also in the oil and gas production as well, erratic demand, and that means that we don't have the certainty of income that we had before. Meanwhile, you've got retail sales still looking weak. And remember, our economy is dependent upon the consumer. You, I, and all our chums all going out, buying things, doing things. And so that accounts for around about 65 to now, rising sometimes to 70% of the economy.
Yeah.
So if the consumer is upset, then actually it's going to be bad for the economy. And when we're seeing those figures looking bad, there's a very good chance this will be a recession. And also what we're seeing here is that the impact it's going to be having on tax. It looks as though Rachel from accounts is going to find herself with some difficulty actually having the headroom for her finances. As I say, running out of space. Therefore, what you do, we're back to the issue you've been talking about before, we'll be seeing tax rises.
But the problem is, of course, as ever the economy shrinks, the lower the tax take is, right? People are spending less money, so you get less VAT. People are not spending money on holidays in Britain because they can't afford it. They're not buying new cars. The housing market is kind of slumping at the moment as well because of the stamp duty. You know, so they must be losing out massively in terms of what the tax take is. And that's before we talk about all the people who are moving abroad and living somewhere else.
Well, what you've got to do is actually make sure you get people with confidence to say that, okay, we're having difficult times, but, you know, things are going to get better eventually. What you want people to have confidence to think, I can go and buy and sell my house, buy another one, I can do it up. And for that, you need a taxation system which is making positive to it. Hence the issue over stamp duty. Stamp duty is a waste of time, doesn't earn a great deal of money, and it just stops actually people spending money. What you need to do, encourage people to move house, because, you know, for well, the kitchen, the bathroom, all the other bits and pieces disappear and get replaced. You spend more money, the government earns more money because more money flows through the economy. Velocity of money through the economy. Get more spending, there's more taxation. Why? Because you're normally getting VAT on that.
But
it's very simple. If you slow that up, you get less money.
But the thing that I find extraordinary, though, Justin, is here you are talking to me as if everything's not going terribly well. But when I listen to Keir Starmer talking, as he did at Prime Minister's Questions yesterday, he talks about consumer confidence being at an all-time high. He talks about how Britain's one of the fastest-growing economies in the G7, and in fact, it's the best-performing economy in the G7. He talks about how, you know, he's created loads and loads of jobs, hundreds of thousands of jobs. I mean, is this man deluded or what?
Well, it's very strange because I can't see how we're growing the economy when we've had a quarter which is going to be showing probably a shrinkage. We've got a month shrinkage last month and the month before. Get a quarter, another bit of more shrinkage, it will be technically a recession. Yeah, admittedly not a huge one, but you know the indicators are heading the wrong way. Now, the other thing you've got to try and do is actually encourage those people who are contributing most to encourage them to be here. And so one of those tax areas that's so crucial, people have been leaving the country because they're worried about actually the non-doms going. As a non-dom, that's say you don't normally live in this country, but so therefore you pay £30,000 and you're excluded from tax on the rest of your assets around the rest of the world. That's good. As soon as you get rid of those non-dom rules, that means those people will have to declare everything they got around the world, that's nothing to do with this country, and have to pay tax on it. What are they going to do? They're going to leave. Now, people may say, well, they're wealthy enough, they can go. We need wealthy taxpayers, because wealthy taxpayers pick up most of the bill. High-rate taxpayers, and these days, high-rate taxpayer, you don't have to be rich to be a high-rate taxpayer. They've gone on those days. You can be an ordinary taxpayer just about to be at the highest rate. But encourage more people and stop having this issue that actually it's bad to make money. It's good to make money fairly and correctly and pay tax on it. But just merely taxing the rich because they're rich, no, you want them here, by all means be here, because we know they spend money, we know they create jobs. We're looking at some of the figures now for potential for non-doms going. And the thought is that potentially, out of the number of them, we're talking about a quarter, about 40,000 people we're talking about overall. If, to say, a quarter of them left, you're talking about about 3,000 jobs disappearing overall, and potentially a cost there of £4 billion of lost income.
Right.
You must be mad. But encourage people to be here and get rid of this idea that actually it's bad to be wealthy, it's bad to be creating money correctly and paying fair tax, and it's fine. If you pay too much tax, people go. It's quite normal for
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So encourage people to actually make money and make the economy greater.
Exactly right. But there is this kind of, hanging around feeling, and you can't really miss it from the government, that they hate people that achieve. They hate people that make money. They hate business. They hate everything to do with, profit. They all know anything. They know everything there is to know about the public sector, but nothing at all about the private sector. And even as he was saying it yesterday, that, business confidence at an all-time high, a study came out late yesterday from the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales, in which they said basically the problem with business confidence is the business confidence monitor has dipped from what it was down in Q1 of this year from -3 to -4.2 in Q2. And all businesses are saying that the tax burden is a massively growing challenge, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon.
Yeah, see, that's a classic case. You need the business people to be confident to go and set up and get going. The largest employer in our country are small businesses, not large corporations. So we need small businesses to be set up. Last year we set up over 4,000. I suspect the figure's going to be lower than that, significantly lower. Why? Because people, when they set up businesses, take a big bet. Sometimes it's their houses on the line, other bits on the line. I know we've had to go through a similar issue. And you take that risk on the basis that you'll be hopefully profitable at the end of it and make some money.
Right.
That's good, and you pay your tax into the system. Encourage people to make money fairly, encourage people and reward them for their success in doing so, and be a country which is actually positive towards it. We're almost going back to the 1960s, but I can just about remember them, the days of those socialist periods where making money was seen to be bad. Wealthy people were bad. And, we're going to be having the new socialist world where everything is brought down to the lowest common denominator. No, bring it up to the highest common denominator. It's the other way around. And actually encourage people to be here. Making money is good. It's not greed is good. That's not the issue. Making money is good. Making jobs is good. And that's how you actually create not just a good, but an exceptional country.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think that would all be a good idea, but they seem to be incapable of making it happen. Justin, great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Justin Urquhart Stewart there saying we are very much on board and on the line of travel to a recession. One more month of zero or minus growth, and that's where we're going to be. The UK economy shrinks for a second month in a row. That's the breaking news this morning, contracting by 0.1% in May after a 0.3% contraction in April. So that's 0.4% down overall.